evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater.
Keelan Cole with his third touchdown.
Defender Josh Norman to his backside.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Another episode of Pulp Fantasy, the May 2022 edition, I guess. I'm your host, Scott Rinear with In Between Media, and this is my goofy YouTube show. If you've seen it before, you know it's goofy. I make jokes about things happening in the NFL and fantasy football world. I mix in some quotes and clips from TV shows I've watched entirely too much, movies and such. So we're going to do a similar thing here. We're in the off season. The NFL draft recently completed, and you know there's not a lot going on right now fantasy football wise. There are rookie drafts going on, dynasty rookie drafts, and if you don't believe me, just go on Twitter for 3 or 4 seconds and you'll see them. Exciting though, rookie drafts are really fun. So a lot of dynasty analysis going on right now and that sort of thing. But as far as actual NFL news, once the draft is over, there is usually a bit of a lull. So I'm going to do a little bit of news and notes today, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a recap of the NFL draft. I'm sure you haven't seen anybody do any recaps or grades for teams or anything like that, but that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be a little different though. And to start with, we're going to go to Miami and the Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. And something happened yesterday. The Dolphins put out a kind of a hype video showing Tua throwing a pass to newly acquired stud wide receiver Tarik Cohen. You know, and it's your typical cheesy hype video where the camera's focused on the ball as it sails through the air and there's hype music going and then the ball is caught, and it's just a play where they're in shorts and whatever, they're making a hype video. But there was quite the reaction, because in the video you could tell the ball was slightly underthrown. Tarik Cohen kind of had to stop for it, you know, when the camera following the ball finally got down. I've got a distraction here again. I don't cut out takes with Douglas Taco, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Now here, I want to show you the actual clip of the pass. I've already spent too much time talking about it, although I chose to talk about it for this very limited amount of time I talk. Whatever, that's my choice. Here is the clip of the hype video the Dolphins tweeted out. So yeah, whatever. Tarik had to slow up a little bit. I really don't want to overanalyze a hype video. But here is, I can only imagine what the haters, for lack of a better word, the Tua haters, here's what I think they see in their head, both here and every single time he throws a pass.
How come A is scared for someone for doing it? It's not about the slides. What is that?
So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tua has the best weapon he's ever had in Tarik Cohen. The Miami Dolphins signed 500 running backs to their squad, so they'll have nice depth at that position. So let's just see what happens with Tua. He's not my favorite quarterback, but I don't think he's terrible. Moving right along. In other news, Ryan Tannehill, quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, he apparently is opening up, outside of football. These players do things outside of football. They have other things that go on in their lives. So what I heard about Ryan Tannehill is he's actually opening up a school of mentorship.
It's just a joke.
Oh, I get it. I get jokes.
I'm just kidding. That was a play on him saying he wasn't going to mentor Malik Willis. That was the joke there. Moving right along. Okay. So next thing I want to talk about is, you've heard the phrase way too early things in football, way too early rankings, way too early, and May is pretty early to be making lots of projections, but that's what we do, especially people like me who do this year round. So anyway, I'm just going to do one today. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on skill positions or Super Bowl odds or anything like that. I'm going to do one very specific and kind of weird way too early ranking. I'm going to present a clip. In this clip, I'm going to convey my thoughts, and I'm going to be talking about divisions here. So, like AFC West, NFC West divisions. And I'm going to give my kind of way too early rankings for 3 divisions. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the NFL draft, a few picks here and there, some trends, my thoughts, that sort of thing. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. We'll start with the New England Patriots. Never know what's going through Bill Belichick's head. You never really know what the Patriots are going to do. And in true form, at the end of the first round, they took a questionable route by picking an offensive lineman that did not belong anywhere near the first round. For reference, my nerdy draft prep for this year's draft, I looked at mock drafts, 45 of them from March through April, tracking all the picks by all the different teams from all the different websites they're doing mock drafts. Cole Strange, and I will tell you, little side note here, this is like my 4th take of this little scene I'm doing because I couldn't remember the dude's name, okay? Cole Strange was not in any of the 45 mock draft first rounds I looked at over the 5 weeks leading up to the draft. Not one. Doesn't mean I know more than the GM. I'm not trying to say that. Just saying it was a surprising pick. It was a weird pick. Somebody they likely could have gotten later. Flash forward to the second round. And if you thought Cole Strange was a odd pick, their second round pick was even more baffling, at least to me and a lot of people that I was hanging out with. So another area of need, the aforementioned wide receiver position. And remember how they've been at drafting wide receivers over the last 10 years. Well, not to disappoint, with Sky Moore, with George Pickens, with Jalen Tolbert, with a handful of, in many people's eyes, still highly rated wide receivers on the board, the New England Patriots selected Tyquan Thornton, wide receiver out of Baylor. Again, a wide receiver I'm sure they could have gotten later, and a wide receiver that I can't be sure about anything. This will all probably end up biting me in the ass later when Thornton's some stud and Bill Belichick's being hailed once again. But as it stands right now, many better receivers on the board, and Thornton, with where he was projected to go, would have been available later. So a very, very questionable pick by the Patriots. But again, remember, their track record with drafting wide receivers has been the worst. Last thing I want to talk about with the NFL draft is the quarterback position. It is not a secret that this quarterback class coming in 2022 was seen as subpar compared to past classes, and especially compared to the class projected to come out in 2023. So it was already seen as a quarterback class that was not going to be as highly touted, but where all these quarterbacks would actually be drafted was still in question. It still seems this day and age, teams are going to spend high draft capital on quarterbacks. It's just the way it goes. Look for that next franchise QB. So the first 19 picks happened in the first round without a quarterback off the board. I don't remember the last time that happened. So that was the first kind of indication we had that, okay, this is the NFL is making its statement. The NFL teams are making their statement about this QB class. But then you had the Pittsburgh Steelers roll in at pick 20. probably licking their chops because they are one of the most QB-needy teams out there right now, with Mitchell Trubisky as their starter, and they're basically their only quarterback. Mason Rudolph is not a quarterback. So they had their pick of the litter, and they went with Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh quarterback Kenny Pickett, which at the time didn't seem that weird, right? I can only imagine what it was like for the Pittsburgh Steelers after that pick, when they were probably high-fiving, oh, we're killing this draft. Oh, look, he went to Pittsburgh. We're Pittsburgh. What? To then see not another single quarterback drafted until 66 picks later. Pick 86 overall when Malik Willis was selected by the Tennessee Titans. And then soon after that, Matt Corral was picked by the Carolina Panthers. I can only imagine what it was like for the Steelers. Yeah, hi, is Mike there? Mike Tomlin. Is Mike Tomlin there? Hey, Mike, I assume you're there, so I just wanted to clear something up. You know that the NFL is in a Superflex league, right? Mike?
I didn't even ask, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, I mean, I get that, but you always should ask the rules before you join a league, man. All right, good luck this season. And I'm going to leave on this. Not as funny, not as jokey thing, but if you have the chance to, Tarik Cohen, former running back for the Chicago Bears, he put out an article kind of telling the story of his life since he was about 18 years old. And it's a heart-wrenching, powerful, sad, heartbreaking story. But good on him for having the courage to do that. And it really shows that a lot of these players that we take for granted and just think are just athletes and that's it. There's a lot more going on. We have no idea what's going on in their lives. And that kind of extends to the larger population. So, you know, take some time, take some perspective, take a step back. Just realize people are going through stuff. You have no idea what it is, and try and practice some empathy. Okay, smiles again. So anyway, that's this month's episode. I'll see you around, and remember, laugh at stuff.
Hear the sound of the bells when the Lord gone, and the boys unleash hell when the war's on. Bloodthirsty when the dogs put their paws on. You gon' tell them that they go a little bit of goes on. Put them on the battlefields where they can, and ignorant niggas just tryna miss what I said.